Hey guys, it's that Dividend guy coming at you with another Robinhood portfolio update. Hopefully everybody had a great Monday. Hopefully everyone had a great green day in the market. You know I wish the best for my viewers and subscribers. And if you're not subscribed yet, why not? Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of my content. Remember to hit the bell notification so you don't miss any updates. I post a portfolio update Monday through Friday as long as I'm feeling good or there's not a family emergency or something like that. I stay very consistent with my upload schedule. So for today, we're going to look over the overall portfolio, the individual holdings, what I plan on buying, and then the watch list and the growth stocks. And then I'll go through the stocks that I'm buying in the portfolio and the stocks that I really want to add in the watch list and growth stocks as well. So for today, we're down about $300. For the week, we're down almost $700. The month, we're down about $600, $596. 3 month mark, we're down 1,500. For the year, we're down 750. And all time, we're at 1423.07%. Funny thing is, this is about the same rate that you would get at an Ally Bank account, which is one of those that Graham Stephan, one of my favorite YouTubers, always talks about. But it's 0.06% for an Ally Bank account. So even with the fluctuation, even with the pandemic, I'm still coming out ahead technically, even with all the volatility, which is crazy. As you guys can see, I do have some buying power there. Realty Income paid me, um, as did another stock. So those were going to be added to next month's payment, even though I could buy a share of PBCT. I'm just going to wait and add it towards my AT&T and AbbVie payment. So let's take a look, starting off with one of my personal favorites. In fact, my favorite real estate stock on the entire stock market, being Realty Income. They are a quality dividend aristocrat. One of the few companies that I'm super duper 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 bullish on. It's one of the foundational stocks in the portfolio. It will be one of the bigger holdings in the portfolio as well. I love the way they structure their business, and I love the diversity of their clientele. So I have 15 shares. I would be happy if that was 150 shares, to be honest with you. I love the company, and they pay monthly. So we have $880 of market value. 45.38 is our average cost. 4.32% of the portfolio is in Realty Income. $202.35. We are up 29.73, almost 30% on this. And guys, like I said, this will be a big position. This is one of those that, let's say if I put $1,000 in the market and I buy Coca-Cola, anything after that, like if I have, say if I do like 1,200, or if I budget a little bit more for the market, it's going right into Realty Income because I really do want to get this share count up there. It's one of my absolute favorites on the entire market in the portfolio as well. Next, Altria Group, we have 149 shares, $5,800 of market value, 43.61 is our average cost. 28.5% of the portfolio is in Altria. We're down $660, down 10%. Not a huge deal, a great cost down average opportunity. They pay a nice dividend, and they have great dividend growth history. So I'm happy to hold it, and it does pay me a giant dividend. Next is one of my sleep easy companies. That is Coca-Cola, Dividend King. 20 shares, about $1,000 of equity. 51.26 is our average cost. 4.86% of the portfolio is in Coca-Cola, down 30.90, down 3%. Not worried about it. This is one of those that I'm happy to hold. I'm proud to hold. I will put more into the position. It's my goal stock for this set of months. So once I get back to work, I will be putting money into my savings account. That's my first goal, is to get my emergency fund. But after that, this is my goal stock. So after about March or April, I will be back to investing like crazy, and this will be one of the main positions that I focus on. It's a sleep easy company. It's one of those that I'm proud to hold, and I will be building up a great position with Coca-Cola. The goal is by 2025 to be dividend efficient enough to buy 5 shares of itself. Same goal is with AT&T and Aflac as well, but that might switch to Walgreens depending on how I feel. Next, we have Federal Realty Investment Trust, FRT. This is one of those as well. It's such a good deal that it's hard to not jump into it. It's a dividend king, so it has the best status possible. I love the diversification of the business. I only have 1 share, so a phenomenal cost down average opportunity here at 73.41 for market value. 113.40 is our average cost. 0.36% of the portfolio is an FRT, and we're down about $40, down 35.27% on FRT. And guys, this is one of those that I know Coca-Cola is my gold stock. I know AT&T is mine as well, and I know Aflac is as well. But the thing is, as an investor, sometimes it's important to have the goals and to have plans like to buy Coca-Cola. But if there's a deal that's this good, you can't pass it up. So if I were to transfer the money right now, like today, I'd put it into FRT simply because it's such a good deal. I have such a good cost on average opportunity, and I'd still be building, I'd still be compounding. So, it's such a good deal. Like I couldn't pass it up. Next, on to the next set of months with Lowe's, a dividend king that has 2 shares, 350.26 of market value. Average cost is $100.86. 1.71% of the portfolio is in Lowe's. We are up $148, up 73.64 on Lowe's. This is one of those rocket stocks that just never seems to come down. I bought it quite a while ago. Bought it and held it. I bought it with extra cash. I did like a $1,200 transfer, something like that, over $1,000, and I decided that I wanted to add some Lowe's to the portfolio. And I'm happy I did. I just wish I would have added more. This is one of those like Target where the money's stuck in, so like I can't buy anymore, and I kind of want to sell it off just simply because I could repurpose the money into something like AT&T. But I love the stock. It did a 9% increase. That's great dividend growth year over year, so I'm not super worried about it. I just need to make sure that I pay enough attention that I can really jump in if it ever goes back down to my price. I have alternative investments for this set of months, so I'm not super worried about the money being tied up in Lowe's, and it's not as much as it was stuck in Target stock. So I'm okay to let it sit there, but I do want to make sure that I definitely capitalize because the dividend growth is phenomenal. It's a great company, and it's increased its dividend every year it's been on the market. So Lowe's is definitely a quality company I want to add more to. Next is AT&T at $27. Oh, basement bargain. 126 shares, $3,400 of equity. 29.68 is our average cost. 16.6% of the portfolio is in AT&T, and we're down 337.63, down 9.03%. We have an AT&T dividend of 65.52 coming to me on November 2nd. That is enough to nearly to buy almost 2 shares of Exxon Mobil or almost 2 shares of Aflac as well. I'm going to focus on Exxon Mobil because I think it's the most down one. Next is the next additive of PBCT. This is Dividend Aristocrat that I just added. We have 13 shares, $134.81. It's our market value. Average cost is 1080. 0.66% of the portfolio is in PBCT. We're down 559, down about 4%. Not worried about it. It's a new position. And I did use dividends from Altria to buy them. So technically Altria paid for these and I didn't put any money in the market. So my interest on my money in Altria stock, the dividend that I got paid for these shares, which that's really the goal of the portfolio, is to use investments like Coca-Cola, Altria, Realty Income, Lowe's, AT&T, whatever companies that you're buying that pay a dividend. I think it's better to reinvest into next month's payment. So when I got paid by Altria, the reason I didn't put it into AT&T is because AT&T's ex-dividend date was the 8th, which that means you have to purchase the stock a day prior in order to get the dividend. So if I added shares, the dividend of Altria into shares of AT&T, I would get shares, but I wouldn't get the dividend of those added shares. But with PBCT paying on the 31st, near the end of the month or at the end of the month, they added to my share count. Or it added a new position that I was happy to add, but it added to the dividend growth of the portfolio. So if I did put that into AT&T, I wouldn't see that payment until February. So PBCT was definitely the better buy there. Next, we have AbbVie. We have 60 shares, $5,000 of market value. Average cost is $72.22. About 25% of the portfolio is in AbbVie. We're up 741.44, up 17.11%. And we do have a dividend of 70.80. That is enough to buy, I believe, close to 2 shares. So I should get 3 shares of Exxon Mobil this month with my dividend money, and they pay on November 16th, so I'll be buying near the middle of the month, but that might determine the stock that we buy, because if Exxon pays on like, or goes ex-dividend on like the 10th, then AbbVie's dividend won't do much for us, and we might have to pick something else like Aflac or Walgreens, or maybe even something like Black Hills that we can add to the portfolio like we did to PBCT. We'll see, and I'll do some more research to figure out what my options are. It might be a little too early considering the stocks for this month, this next month just announced dividends, but we'll see. I do know that I have 3 shares locked in at about $40 a share, so I'm not super worried. But I'm excited to see if we can get 4 shares of Exxon Mobil with the dividends that we have coming in next month. Next, onto the next set of months, we have J&J, 2 shares, about $300 of market value at 290. 135.79 is our average cost. 1.4% of the portfolio is in J&J, and we're up 1706, up 6.28%. Then we have 3M. We have 2 shares, about $340 of market value. $147.28 is our average cost. 1.66% of the portfolio is in 3M, and we're up 44.55, up 15% on 3M. Next, we have Exxon Mobil. We have $66 total. We have $33 per share. So our total for dividends, I believe, is around $140. So 3, 6, 9, 12. We have 4 shares locked in of Exxon Mobil right now at the current price, which is phenomenal for dividends for next month. So AbbVie and AT&T are going to be buying us Exxon Mobil shares. They'll be buying about 4 shares, which will get us about $3.60, a little bit more than that, $3.60 of dividend income added with interest on our money. So we have 84 shares of Exxon Mobil. That would be going up to about 87 or 88 shares. $2,800 of market value. Average cost is $53.20. About 14% of the portfolio is in Exxon Mobil. $1,600 we are down today, our total. Down 37%. Not super worried about Exxon Mobil. As long as they keep the dividend, I don't care. They can go as far down as it wants. Market fluctuation is part of the game, and that's exactly why I put money into Exxon, because it fluctuates. Next is Walgreens. We have 6 shares. About $40. Our market value is $223.38. $39.92 is our average cost. 1.09% of the portfolio is in Walgreens, and we're down $16.11 all time, down 6.73%. Then we have Aflac. We have 1 share, $36.78 of market value. Average cost is $35.75. 0.18% of the portfolio is in Aflac, and we're up 103, up 2.88% on Aflac stock. That concludes the portfolio. Sorry, I kind of did rapid fire there at the end. But as of right now, the best deals for me within my portfolio, FRT, AT&T, and Exxon Mobil are just basement bargain buys. And as of right now, between Realty Income, Lowe's, AT&T, PBCT, and AbbVie, we should have 4 shares of Exxon Mobil locked in. But keep in mind, we might not be able to buy Exxon because it might go ex-dividend before the middle of the month. So we might have to go ahead and buy something like Walgreens or Aflac, anything, or even Black Hills. Anything that we buy will add to our dividend income. So even if it's not the stock that's the furthest down like I want for the goal for the portfolio, we'll still add. So it's not a huge deal. Next, we have a change to the watch list. I did get rid of US Bank because I had PBCT. I do want to own my own bank, but Cisco fits the overall theme of the portfolio a lot better, has a lot better dividend growth, and a way longer consistency than US Bank does. So Cisco at 64.34. At a 52-week high of 85, we have $20 of upside. Definitely a steal there. PepsiCo at 140. We have $7 of upside. Just so you guys know, I hope it never comes across that I'm bashing PepsiCo. Love PepsiCo. In fact, here's the funny thing. I like it better as a company than I like CocaCola. CocaCola is the king of soft drinks, right? They're in a bunch of restaurants. They're the #1 soda in the world. But Pepsi has Frito-Lay. Pepsi has Mountain Dew. So I actually like Pepsi as a company better due to the diversification of the snack foods. And I like Mountain Dew a lot. It's like my second favorite pop. I like Coke first. But I love Pepsi as an investment. The problem is Coca-Cola pays a more efficient dividend. So it takes a lot less money to be dividend efficient in Coca-Cola, about $6,000, versus PepsiCo, which would take, I think it was like 10K or something like that. It's a lot more money. It's still doable and it's still a goal. I do want to be dividend efficient in Pepsi. It's just one of those stocks that's such a good investment that it doesn't go down very often. So I figured I might as well put as much money into Coca-Cola or Altria as I could, and then I'll use that money to buy a share of Pepsi, which right now I can buy a share of Pepsi. So last month when I got paid like $140, I had enough cash to buy PepsiCo, which is phenomenal. But eventually, the goal is for Coca-Cola to actually buy itself or Pepsi shares, which will be cool. But at 140, I don't think it's a buy. I'd want it to be about 125. Next is Kimberly Clark. Just same story as Pepsi. Such a quality company, it doesn't go on sale. About $10 of upside there. Not enough. I'd want it to be about 145 to 143. Northwest Natural, I switched them out for Starbucks because they are a dividend aristocrat. And they are a utility company, which I want more utilities. They engage in the local distribution of gas and water. So they are a utility, which I know I have Black Hills, but this makes me feel a lot better. I feel like Starbucks. I love the company. I think it's great. A really great dividend grower, but it's just they don't have the consistency that Northwest Natural has when it comes to actually the amount of years that it's increased the dividend. So at 45.35, it's definitely a buy for me. It's $30 of upside in that stock, so that's a definite steal. Colgate at 79, too expensive for me to buy. Procter & Gamble at 42, 142, too expensive. SX at 199. I am shooting myself in the foot by not buying it right now. I don't know if I've ever seen it below 200 in a video, but I wish I could buy it because at 200 you have a $134 of upside per share plus over $1 dividend. And status to go with it. So SX is a steal, and it actually boosts the real estate exposure, which is what I really want. Next, I I added ADM. They are a dividend king, I believe. At least an aristocrat. I thought they were a king. But at 50.31, 52 highs, 51.47. But it's so cheap that I would probably make an exception because it's nearly 20 shares for me at $1,000 deposit. So I probably would just deal with it and cost down average here. This is one of those that it won't be horrible to be dividend efficient in. About 100 shares, so about 5,000. It and CocaCola are about the same. Might have a little bit more, but that's not a huge deal. But I'm happy to add it, but I would not be buying it here at these prices. Next is Black Hills, which is our utility as well as Northwestern. But at 56, it's a steal. Mickey D's at 226, not touching it. This is again like Pepsi or Kimberly Clark. This is one of those that I'm just gonna have to say screw it, buy it because it never goes on sale and it's just gonna keep going up. It's gonna be like a Tesla where I'm gonna wish I got in at 240 or 260 or whatever. And I'm gonna wish I bought it at the price I had the opportunity to. So this is one of those that I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet, pull the trigger, and go ahead and initiate a position, even if it's not at the price I want. The thing is, guys, when you initiate a position, you're not locked into that position. You can always cost down average. You just have to be smart when you buy it, right? So you could wait 20 years to be on the sidelines and never invest and just keep thinking, oh, it's going to keep going. You know, I'm going to get an opportunity. I'm going to get an opportunity. It's better to get in the market and just take the opportunity that you have now and cost down average when it's applicable. There's nothing wrong with having a higher average cost if you can cost down average effectively and you're not going to be overexposed with that stock, or you can't double down on it when it becomes a deal, like what I did with AbbVie. That's exactly what I hope to do with McDonald's. Just initiate a position, maybe buy in bulk once or twice, and then duplicate it as much as I can. Then we have Apple. We're under the growth stock portion of the portfolio. This is when it comes to stocks. I know I always say J&J, Coca-Cola, AT&T, Realty Income, and Disney. Like, that's for dividends. I don't really consider it a dividend-paying stock. I know it does, but to me it's a growth stock. But when it comes to growth stocks, Apple is my favorite. Like, it's my favorite stock on the entire stock market. It's a different beast. It's a different breed. It's a different way to invest. So that's why I don't consider it in my top 5, but it is my favorite company. I love the products. I love the product line. I love the CEO. I'm super bullish on it. So definitely be buying Apple at 117 with $20 of upside. Just perfect evaluation for me to get in right now. Then we have the Mouse House with Disney at 124. Buying it here, it's a no-brainer for me. So guys, currently in the portfolio, the best buys for me right now on a cost average basis are FRT. I would love to add 10 more shares of this in the portfolio. It'd be more like 15 shares. Boost my dividend income by like $15 a month. Then of course AT&T is a steal right now. I'd have to add that. That would be about I think 30 shares there at least. And then In the portfolio, Exxon Mobil is a no-brainer. But then stocks that I really want to add for the first set of months, it has to be Cisco. It's the cheapest one, has the same dividend growth as Pepsi and Kimberly Clark when it comes to the amount of years, but it's cheaper. For the second set of months, I cannot pass up Essex Property Trust. It helps with the real estate portion of the portfolio. And then as for the third set of months, I'd have to go with Black Hills as well. I want to have a very insulated portfolio. So for me, it's not necessarily about gaining the most money. It's about protecting my investment and letting it grow in the safest investment possible, right? So to me, it's a lot safer to put it into a utility than say like coffee or Tesla or something like that, because it's consistent. People have to pay their water, they have to pay their gas, they have to pay their electric. So I'm looking for safe investments with great dividend growth that will consistently make me money over time and increase it every single year. So Black Hills is definitely that month's stock for the watch list, and then Apple and Disney are buys 100% for me. Anyways, guys, that should wrap up the update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel, That Dividend Guy, and when you do, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any uploads. I post Monday through Friday. I do it as consistently as I can, and I hope I earn your subscription and I earn respect for how hard I try to grind at this, because I really do. I treat it like a second job. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow in another dividend portfolio update. Take care, guys.